Hello boys and girls. Today's math lesson we are going to be using multiplication to divide, and that will be reflected in our objective, which is to use multiplication to solve division problems. So the first thing that we're going to do is see how multiplication and division relate by looking at our first problem right here. So multiplication and division are related to each other. They are inverse operations. Inverse operations are just opposite operations. So we have 4 times 3, and we're going to try to figure out which one of these division problems is the same or the inverse operation of 4 times 3. So I know that 4 times 3 equals 12, so let's see which one of these has 12 divided by either 4 or 3. Right here. So we're going to match those, because we are just matching our inverse operations. 5 times 7, which division problem would we match that with? 35 divided by 7. 9 times 8, which one would we match that with? Good job guys, 72 divided by 9. And 6 times 6, which one would we match that with? 36 divided by 6, awesome job. So always remember that multiplication and division are related because they are inverse operations, and inverse operations just mean opposite, okay? So we're going to try to solve 52 divided by 4 using multiplication. It may seem a little tricky at first, but we're going to do 2 examples and it should get easier by our second example, okay? So this is what we're trying to figure out, right? Here's our big unknown. What does 52 divided by 4 equal? Well, we can also say 4 times what equals 52, and these 2 answers, or these 2 blanks, are the same, right? Because 52 divided by 4 is also asking 4 times what equals 52. So in order to solve that, we have a rectangle set up, and if you remember, you find the area of a rectangle by multiplying the length times the width. And we have a multiplication problem of 4 times an unknown, right? So our rectangle is set up as 4 as one side, an unknown as the other, but we know that 4 times that unknown is gonna equal 52. So in order for us to figure out this unknown, same in all of our question marks are gonna be the same unknown, we're going to try to split 52 up into 2 smaller numbers. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to find which multiple of 10 goes into 52. So I have my number 4, right? My number 4. What multiple of 10 goes into 52? So let's see. 4 times 10 is 40. Does that go into 52? Yeah. Well, let's see if we can go any higher. 20 times 4 is 80. Does that go into 52? No, 20 is too much, so we're going to stick with 40 for this one. So we're splitting up that rectangle into 2 smaller numbers. So our first one is the multiple of 10, which we said was 40. Now, what do we have left over? If this whole inside equals 52, and we already have 40, what is left? 12. Great job, guys. So now we're looking at 4 times what equals 40, right here, and 4 times what equals 12. And if we add those together, we still get 52. So 4 times question plus 4 times question equals 52. So let's see. 4 times what equals 40? We just said that, right? 10. So this question mark is 10, and 4 times what equals 12? 3, great job guys. So now we know that 4 times 10 plus 4 times 3 equals 52. And how we're gonna find our original answer, our original unknown, is by adding these two numbers together. So we're going to add the unknown factors that we found together. So 10 plus 3, and that's going to give us our answer. So 10 plus 3 is 13. So we find our answer, 52 divided by 4 is 13, and 4 times 13 is 52. So this is just the long way to show you why this works, okay? We're going to try one more problem, but we're not going to draw out the rectangles. We're just going to skip straight to these steps that we did at the bottom. Okay, so let's look. We have 184 divided by 8. Well, what's our first step going to be? We're going to find which multiple of 10 goes into 184, right? But we know that we're going to have 8 times a number plus 8 times a number to get our answer. So let's go ahead and write our 8 in. You're always going to put this number in both of your first spots, okay? Just like we did down here. Our 4, we put in both first spots, and then we found our unknowns. So, let's think of our multiples of 10 that go into 184. Well, what is 8 times 10? 80. Does 80 go into 184? Yeah. Let's see if we can go to 20. 20 times 8. 160. Does 160 go into 184? Yeah, it does. Do you think we could go to 30? No, 30 would be too big. So, we're going to do 8 times 20, which gave us 160. Well, we need to figure out what we have left that we need to multiply by. So we're going to take 184 and subtract 160, because that's what we already have right here, right? This is equal to 160. So we need to find out 160 plus what equals our answer, right? So 4 minus 0 is 4. 8 minus 6 is 2. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So we need 24. So 8 times what equals 24? Awesome job, guys. 8 times 3 equals 24. And all of this is going to equal our answer, 184. So when you're setting up your problem, you can go ahead and fill in 8 times blank plus 8 times blank equals your answer, because you're always going to take the second number and put it in the first blank that you're multiplying by. You're going to take the larger number and put it as your answer. And tomorrow we'll really get into what these numbers are called, okay? So 8 times what equals 184? Well, who can remember which numbers in this problem that we just solved we're going to add together? Right, the two numbers that we found are two unknowns, or the two numbers that were not originally in our problem. So we don't need the 8, but we do need the 20. Don't need the 8, we do need the 3. So we have 8 times 23, because we're adding our unknowns, equals 184. So 184 divided by 8 equals 23. And if we want to check our answer, let's see. 23 times 8. 8 times 3 is